You get to connect with people who are just like you, who are your age, going through the same thing that you are. For me, at least, it was super nice when I first joined because I was like, oh my gosh, all these people know what it's like to be visually impaired. Like, this is awesome. And I have met some of my best friends through all these different events.
Before we ended our canoe trip, we made a pit stop at this waterfall hike. The path was kind of rough, like there were rocks and roots and pretty uneven, so it was fun and interesting and kind of a challenge at some points.
One thing I really wanted to do was go to like summer camps, and my counselors would help me find those programs, and that was really fun.
A road trip through summer, and the sign on the road says, college ahead. Welcome to Blind Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson. Today in the studio, we have two peer ambassadors from State Services for the Blind of Minnesota. Amy, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for joining us here today for this road trip through summer and college just ahead. And Maddy, how are you doing?
I'm good as well. Excited.
Well, let's rewind. How's your summers been going?
It's been pretty good for me. My sister had a baby in February, so I've kind of been learning how to take care of a baby,
Oh,
which is new because my sister, when she was born, I was really young, so I didn't really do much of the like feeding or like holding. And so it's been really cool just to like take care of that and see how that works. And besides that, just taking a break from college, not having to worry about papers and assignments. So it's been really nice, very chill summer.
it's coming. Sign up the road says college ahead.
Yeah.
How about you, Maddy?
Yeah, I've been having a good summer too. I've been working. A couple weeks ago, I got back from the National Federation of the Blind and American Council of the Blind conventions in Dallas and New Orleans. So those were fun to go to, but been kind of busy.
Wow, you did too.
Yep, doubled up.
Wow. Maddy, why don't you tell us what you like best about the summer conventions?
It was fun just to like be in such a space that's just taken over by blind people
Mm-hmm.
and to learn about like what's going on in the country as a whole, because I feel like I'm pretty in tune with like what's happening in Minnesota, but to learn about what's happening on like the national level. And I enjoyed like they'd have speakers from like different like companies come in, talk about like what they're planning on doing in the future. I got some meta glasses, like the exhibit halls were fun. But yeah, overall I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's really neat that they spaced them out just a little bit so you could have the opportunity to do both.
Exactly.
How about some of the events that SSB has put on? Let's dive into a couple of those. Amy, you were excited about a picnic.
Yeah, it's coming up next month. Maddie and I have been getting ready for that, and we're really excited because this summer we did a end of school Zoom, but at the beginning of the summer we did a end of school Zoom, and we just kind of hung out with a bunch of people on the Zoom and talked about how the school year went and what their summer plans were. And it was really nice just to hang out with them and see what they had planned. But yeah.
Yeah, it's really neat to have a network so you can ask questions and find out what someone else is doing. Just sometimes you get this little tidbit of information and it just changes the way you do something too.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that we had going on this summer was Amy and I got to go spend some time with the summer transition program when they visited the SSB office.
Do you want to do a mock interview? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to do a mock interview with my coworker Layla?
Absolutely.
And that was fun to see some friends who we got to meet last year and also some new faces we got to connect with. And Amy and I this year actually got to conduct some mock interviews, which was new and exciting. Yeah, it's always good being there when the STP group's there. Always entertaining. Yeah.
So what's it like when you see the younger students answering those questions during a mock interview? Does it give you confidence that our future is in good hands?
It did for me.
Yeah.
I got a good one, but
I think mine was a little nervous still, but it kind of reminded me a little bit of myself. I was like, there's room here for growth. And I just think that it was so cool to me that SSB is committed to putting on those mock interviews for students because it is really helpful to get that feedback. I really enjoyed being able to be a part of that this year. It was really cool.
Yeah, I really liked what Tu did too, to talk about the different colleges, the different job and what their pay is, and the percentage of students that graduate from colleges. It was just informational. And then Kate came on and went through some tips and tricks about interviews. So it was very educational.
Mm-hmm.
And where else are you going to get that information or that experience?
You can always reach out to SSB and they can do some of that with you. They can help you with mock interviews. They can help you find jobs. Tu is one of the transition navigator. Maybe?
Hi, this is Tu, SSB Transition Navigator or Work Opportunities Navigator. Today, SSB, we're hosting a event, the Student Career Networking Event, where we have adult, blind, visually impaired volunteers to come and share a little bit about their professional lives, their career pathway, and kind of the things that they had to do to be successful in their roles. And students are coming from all over the Twin Cities, from the state, to come and learn more about these adults that are potential versions of their future selves, or to at least learn about the different possibilities that they could walk for themselves, and to really just learn what's out.
I know I met with him a couple years ago, and he's really helpful in giving me some guidance on what I should be doing to prepare for college and a future career.
I remember last year during the summer, there was the canoe trip and the camping with Wilderness Inquiry. That was awesome.
That was really cool. I personally was unable to go to the canoe trip, but I did like 3 years ago, which is crazy, when they first did it. And it was really fun for me because it was my first time being on a canoe. And now I love canoes. I mean, I've never been on one by myself, but I would if I could. But the camping trip I did get to do last year, and that was really fun. You know, I've never been camping in a tent, and that was an experience. I don't know if it was necessarily be like my favorite to camp in a tent, but I'm happy that I did do it. And just like Wilderness Inquiry is such a wonderful program. They're really good at listening to what their clients are asking of them and like making those accommodations so that everyone can be successful. And I was just really grateful that they were there with us, and I hope that this year's camping trip goes well as well. I hope that the people who are going have a really great time.
I agreed with Amy. Like, it was so fun to meet new people, and I also loved the canoeing that happened. It was so fun.
How do you like the all-terrain cane?
I love this so much.
How does it help you?
It will like with like the hiking and stuff, because you can like lean on it and stuff. So for like going down like spots where it was uneven, I could put the cane down, know how low down it was, hold on to it, brace myself and step my foot down. But no, this is like the best hiking cane ever, because for this trail, I would not have made it without this cane. And I'm dead serious about that.
And I think they're doing another one later this summer, and it will be really fun.
Yeah, they were going to have a canoe trip like a couple weekends ago, but the air quality was unfortunately high or something. So they're doing it in September. So keep an eye out for that.
Yep.
Yeah, what's really neat is during these events and even going to national convention or even on the Zoom calls that you guys have, people get to meet and build networks. And you'd be surprised when you find someone that has a condition similar to yours or an interest that's similar to yours. You start building these networks, and it's all about networking as you keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
How about those Zoom calls that you guys did, Zooming into college? It was about college readiness.
Yeah, we had a Zoom talking about college readiness.
I do have an accommodation that professors have to give me access to all of their PowerPoints.
You might not get the same accommodations. I mean, it really depends on your personal situation. They might use the IEP as inspiration or like just to kind of get a better understanding of what's worked for you in the past.
So I set up a meeting with the professor and my tech specialist. The professor had no idea that she wasn't describing, so it was really good to point that out to her in a, of course, professional manner.
It was great for both students and parents of current high school and college students. It's helpful for me as, I was a senior at the time and I was kind of in that mode of like, oh, like college is real. Like I actually am going to be leaving my house in like 5 months and be on my own. So I needed to know what to be looking out for and what skills I really needed to hone in so I could be successful. And that Zoom was really nice to be able to hear from current college students about their recommendations. Yeah, it was great.
Now, while in high school, you were taking college credit classes.
True. I was at Normandale Community College and it was great, but it's sort of a different college experience. And there's certain skills that you need for community college that you don't need for like the University of Minnesota and vice versa. So I still just really enjoyed getting to hear from different perspectives and being able to help others by sharing my own experience.
The U of M, that's where you're headed.
Yep.
Well, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
What kind of area are you going to be focusing on?
I'm planning on double majoring in sociology and technical writing, so kind of social sciencey stuff.
Well, you can start writing the show notes then.
Oh.
How about you, Amy? While on this road trip through summer, sign ahead reads college ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I've been going to UMD for 2 years now. This will be my third year. So I think it's not as big of a new start. But it is a little bit just because, new classes, new professors, new O&M routes I have to take. But I think I've done this first day of school for I don't know, since kindergarten, preschool. So I've kind of got it in the bag. But it's really exciting and a little nerve-wracking just because of the new professors and the new coursework. And now I'm actually going to start my social work classes, like the core ones. And so I'm excited for that, just to see what it's going to be like. But yeah, I'm excited.
Let's break that down a little bit. When you say that you have new classes and O&M, that means you probably, or would you suggest to people that you want to get the layout of where your new classes are?
Yeah, I always advocate for people to go to their school beforehand if possible to run their routes and just to see where their classes are. And even it doesn't have to be with a specialist. I know I did before my freshman year because it was a whole new school and a whole new building. But ever since then, I've just been able to do it, with a friend or even by myself just beforehand so that on the first day of school, I don't have to worry about where my classes are.
And then you mentioned professors. What do you do in preparation with new professors that don't even know you?
Yeah, so it honestly depends for me. I know a lot of people recommend sending an email beforehand, and I think that that's a good idea if you're going to a bigger school, just so that they know ahead of time that you'll be in their class and just kind of introduce yourself a little bit. For me, I guess I've just never really gotten around to doing that, and the first day of school, I will go up to them after class and I'll introduce myself in person, and I'll just say, "Hey, my name is Amy, I'm in your class," and then they might ask me, "Oh, what can I do to make this class easier for you or make sure that you're being accommodated?" And I'll just let them know "Oh, please, if there's any images on the screen or if you're writing something, please say verbally what you're doing. And if there's any paper handouts, please make sure they're also on the learning management system so that I can access them, stuff like that." And it's all in the accommodation letter that gets sent out to them beforehand. So they already vaguely know what's going on.
And the accommodation letter comes from the Disability Services Office?
Yep. So it's different for every school, I think, but at least the U of M system is you put in your accommodations on their website, check a couple boxes of what you want, and then it gets approved by somebody at the disability office, and then the system sends it out to the professor, and then they get it.
Oh, cool. How about you, Maddy? You taking notes there?
Definitely. I know. I actually just had my final little meeting with the DRC, the Disability Resource Center, on Thursday. And yeah, I'm definitely like trying to figure out how I'm gonna go about that. At least for this first semester, I'm planning on sending an email beforehand, just in case the professors have any questions they'd want answered for the first day. But I think really it's just your personal preference how you like to go about that. But I've never used like AIM, the accommodation system that the U uses. So we'll see how that goes.
How about your book list? You sign up for your classes and your books come in. Is there anything you have to do that, typically someone else wouldn't have to do, but you have to do differently?
So recently the U switched to like a almost all online service where you get your books automatically almost, and you just kind of pay an all-in-one fee and you get all your books. And usually that means that all the books are online. Sometimes that means that you have to get a physical copy and that's the only copy that's available. And when that happens, I have to reach out to my disability office to tell them to get me a e-text copy so that it's readable with my screen reader. But that really doesn't happen a lot now that we switched to this new system because most professors choose to have an electronic textbook.
Oh, cool. Wow, the times they are changing.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I'm planning on doing that. It's called what, Courseworks or
Yep,
something?
Courseworks.
Where you can just get all your materials online unless there's like a weird situation where they don't have the copy, but hopefully they do.
Yeah.
So there's some big changes. I mean, Amy, you're used to it. This is routine. Maddy, this is brand new for you going to the college. Are you going to be living on campus or are you going to be commuting?
I'm gonna be on campus. I actually, yesterday and on Friday, I went to Target, got so much stuff for my dorm. It's like overwhelming, but I'm excited, but also nervous to be in the dorm and have to go to the dining hall and not be able to like make my own food. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited too.
Amy, think she's ready?
I think she's ready for sure. I've been there. I have felt that anxiety of just like not knowing how, like I hate when I don't know how things are gonna go. But you've got it, Maddie. It'll be great. The dining hall. I don't know. I mean, I've heard from friends who go to the Twin Cities campus that the dining hall is not bad. And there's like 3 of them, so you get to choose.
Okay.
I wish I could say the same about UMD, but
Okay. Ooh.
yeah. But yeah, you're ready.
Okay.
How long does it take before you start getting into the extracurricular type of stuff, to make your experience more well-rounded? Like, do you get involved in clubs? Do you get involved in anything else? Or are you just sticking your nose to the grindstone and doing your homework?
Well, I think honestly, the first week or so is really crucial for like learning what kind of clubs and extracurriculars are out there. I know like they have a welcome week and they have all the clubs have like a fair kind of thing where you can go and learn about their organizations and stuff like that. And if something catches your eye, definitely join them. Go to like one meeting, and if you don't like it, you don't have to. I did a ballroom dancing club for like a couple months my first semester, and it was really fun. It wasn't really for me after a bit, but I'm happy I did it and got myself out there and, go to the events that is hosted by campus and housing. Those are always fun. And yeah, I mean, if you don't want to go to all of them, that's fine too. I feel like I have like my 2 friends and then I don't really need anything else, but like some people really want that social part of college, which is also great. So just go with whatever works for you.
Maddy, I have a question for you. University of Minnesota is one of the largest spread out campuses. And did you find it overwhelming or have you done a tour of it and think you got it?
I've done a tour of it and both my brothers went there, so I've been on campus quite a few times. And I know everyone has their own takes, but I'm really excited to be able to just walk around the city and be able to walk from this building to that building and stop at, a coffee shop on the way. And I don't know, I think it's going to be nice. And I mean, they have like a bus system, they have tunnels for the winter, but I'm going to try and just walk what the weather allows. A lot of my classes are on like the West Bank, and my dorm will most likely be on the East Bank, so it'll be like 20-30 minute walk maybe some days, but I'm kind of chilling with that. Like my mindset might change once I'm actually doing it, but I'm excited.
Amy, what advice would you have for a student just embarking upon their college adventure?
I would say, like, it's okay to be nervous and to feel a little apprehensive and, maybe even scared, but, don't let it stop you from achieving the goal of going to college and have fun with it because, you only do usually you only go to college once and you only are a freshman once. So enjoy it. And personally, if I ever am not feeling like I'm succeeding as a college student, I'll just like go get a coffee and then I'll walk through campus and I'm like, guys, I am an official college student and it makes me feel better. So, yeah, it's normal to be nervous. And even when you're there, to be sad and to miss your family, I think it's worth it.
Maddie, yourself?
I'm kind of with everyone out there who's nervous and feels like they're not ready. But I mean, a lot of things, it's like you can kind of figure it out while you're there. You don't have to go in knowing everything. Like, yeah, kind of what Amy said. Like, it's inevitable. Like, you're gonna get sad. You're not gonna want to study, or you're like gonna want to just go home, and just know that those moments are coming and that not the end of the world. Can get through it.
I think also one thing I would like to say is like it's really easy to compare yourself to other people who are like freshmen or going through the same thing, and just like remember that everyone's on their own individual journey and you don't have to be the same as everyone else, and everyone else is also feeling that nervousness and maybe they're just hiding it better. So don't compare yourself too much to what everyone else is doing.
Definitely.
Thank you both for sharing all your adventures in college and all your nerves coming up and all that, being honest about that. And there's a lot of tips and tricks here for students as they embark upon their journey through college. And I wish both of you success in your journey through college. And have a wonderful beginning of your school year when it comes up. But don't forget to enjoy the rest of the summer.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
You get to connect with people who are just like you, who are your age, going through the same thing that you are. For me, at least, it was super nice when I first joined because I was like, oh my gosh, all these people know what it's like to be visually impaired. Like, this is awesome. And I have met some of my best friends through all these different events.
Counselors are there to, really help support you and help you access the resources that SSB has to offer.
Yeah, they're kind of like a little bridge connecting you to all of the different resources that are there for you. Yeah, a little bridge.
A little bridge.
To find out more about all the programs at State Services for the Blind, contact Shane.DeSantis at state.mn.us. That's Shane.DeSantis at state.mn.us. Be sure to contact your State Services for the Blind, your voc rehab, and find out what they can do for you. Live, work, read, succeed.
When we share
what we see through each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap between the limited
expectations
and the reality
of blind abilities.
And the realities of blind abilities.